Normally, we hear this person. Like I said earlier, we go to class. Now we bring the class to us, and she came in, and you'll see some pictures and videos on it. She brought us gifts from New Orleans for the national championship game.
I'm so excited.
Give it up.
Thank you so much for the gift.
For the lovely and talented Dr. Deborah Stroman. What's up, D. Stro? How you doing?
All is well. All is well.
Just got in, huh?
Just got in. It's been a crazy 24 hours.
Wow.
After New Orleans, I had to fly out to San Francisco for
wait.
NBA Math Hoops. I've told you about that wonderful, wonderful game.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, exactly.
Yes, we're helping primarily 4th to 6th graders learn their math tables by understanding WNBA and NBA shooting statistics. It's a board game. So we were out in San Francisco for that. Had a chance to watch Dallas versus
wait a minute, hold on.
Warriors.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I ain't trying to step on you. You're talking about. You go for the national championship football game, which is in New Orleans. Then you had the task of flying to San Francisco.
Somebody's got to do it.
He said the task.
Then to see Golden State in a new arena, and you see Dallas, who has one of the best players in the NBA playing right now.
That's right.
Must be nice.
That's tough gig. I don't know how you do it.
But I love you all so much. I had to get up.
Oh, wow.
I got in early this morning, and I said I have to make it to the #1 sports radio show.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
you.
So
Right.
I'm just curious, how is the new arena in Golden State?
It is gorgeous.
Is
the
it?
Chase Center. It is all that
yeah.
and then some.
Really?
Had the very blessed to be able to go down and be a part of one of the suites.
Okay.
Where it's like off the arena, but yet within walking distance. So you have this really plush, beautiful suite, and then you walk up into your plush seats, sitting right behind the benches. So amazing experience.
Nice.
But I am human, so I actually had 2 spots. I was high up as well, but then I had to go down and see what it's like on the floor.
These trolls. Can I just hang out with you sometime? 'Cause this is really too cool.
Y'all are getting it in.
She says, and I quote, I had to go down to the floor.
But shout out to my man Rick Carlisle, who played at Virginia.
Yeah.
You all know him as the guy that Michael Jordan stripped.
Yeah. And then the dog,
coach of
and
Dallas.
the Carmichael or whatever. Was it
Yes,
Carmichael?
Carmichael.
Yeah. So you know Mike, and you know Rick Carlisle.
Oh,
Rick
yeah, we
Carlisle.
played together
She
same
know
time.
everybody. You know what's funny? I would say this. Virginia has a lot of people that's played and doing things. You don't really think about it. I don't really think about you around you. You start pointing things out like, oh yeah, they're going to Virginia. Hey, the Barbers and all those, Tiki and his brother and all those guys that played there.
Somebody, Craig Littlepage, former athletic director at Virginia, he was talking about it and reminded me that we have a very strong Virginia athletic tree. Maybe someone will document it at some point. But I think about Gene Corrigan, who used to be the athletic director at Notre Dame and came back to Virginia to be the AD. He was the AD when I was there. Yeah. But his connection with the ACC, and John Swofford, the current commissioner of the ACC, he was working at Virginia when I was there, and that's how we became friends.
Really?
So, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know he went to Carolina, but I know he worked at Virginia.
That's right. That's where he got all his skills and talents. No.
They came back to Carolina as AD.
Football player at Carolina, went to Virginia to work, and then came back to Carolina to go home.
So y'all raised him up when y'all went to Virginia.
I like that better.
We're talking to Dr. Deborah Stroman, this with D. Stroh, and let's get right into it. So, this Odell Beckham situation. Now, were you actually on the field after the championship game?
Absolutely.
Did Odell give you money too?
I was saying, did you get money?
Well, because my eligibility is over, I can say that I did not receive.
Well, she brought us back gifts.
Yeah,
Great
I don't know if that's legal.
let me speak on behalf of the sports shop. All gifts are legal. In any form, it is legal.
How you feel about this controversy, though?
It goes back to taking away the fun from the game. Mm-hmm. It would be different if he were dropping, $5,000, $10,000, maybe a couple $100 bills, and it's all in fun and all in jest. And it is the national championship. It's not like it's a regular season game. Well, let me back up. This happens.
Oh, yeah,
right.
We said it. I mean, it's been happening for years. But it doesn't happen after the national championship game with a camera on the field.
That's right.
That doesn't happen.
But I'm okay with that. It's just fun. It's just fun. Yeah. And, the other side is Joe Burrow smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Who gave him that?
It's illegal. In fact, we were talking as a staff, as the college football playoff staff. There is no smoking in that building anywhere. And here you have the star quarterback with a cigar smoking. Now, should the fire marshals have run in, the staff, everything, put it out?
The cops talked about, the police department did mention the fact that they should give him a citation for doing that. Or
but I'm thinking we're just taking away from the fun, the banter of this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
no harm, no foul.
Yeah, we rocking Dr. Deborah Stroman as we do each and every Thursday, same place, same time. But no, same place. She just happened to be here in the studio this time.
That's right.
So you good with Odell? I just think that he tried to bring a little attention to himself.
That's who he is.
Okay, yeah.
That's who he is. You accept that.
Okay.
And he's not using profanity. He's not beating somebody up. It's just all in fun. It was for that particular moment. Let's keep it moving. There are bigger things to talk about in terms of players not being paid.
Now, I will say this, though, and K-Mac can test this more, so I can't. He is approachable, though. It wasn't like because at the Final Four.
You got him to record a video for Candace.
And he took a picture. I mean, I don't want no picture of you.
Yeah. And, of course, I saw that, and you just showed me you have a picture with Odell as well.
He was taking pictures with everyone, unlike Karl Malone. So I had a chance to talk to Karl Malone.
Are you serious?
Straight face. I mean, he took
His
the
daughter
picture,
went to LSU, right?
Yes.
Right.
And a Louisiana man. He's one of the big heroes for the state.
Yeah.
But there were certain people where it was a little colder. I had a chance to connect with Vince Vaughn, the actor.
I was going to ask you, who was some of the high-profile people that were there?
Yeah, Vince Vaughn. And, of course, they had all the what they call the Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So Barry Sanders.
Did anybody say why Bo Jackson wasn't there? You heard anything about that?
Great question.
Because he's one of the top 11. I'm like, why Bo wasn't there?
Right.
Not sure.
Okay. I was just curious about that.
Yeah, but LSU has so many famous alumni. So this was so big for them. And in fact, as much as, I'm unbiased as a part of the staff, but come on, it's all about the ACC and Dabo Sweeney. I mean, he just took it to another level, his professionalism.
Yeah.
But if LSU had not won that game, that state would have gone crazy. New Orleans would have burned. Everybody, Clemson travels so well. Everybody wants them to be in their bowl games. And as much as they had a part of the stadium, the roar of the LSU fans
was crazy.
It made Clemson.
I'm assuming LSU
had
had the majority of the fans. I'm assuming that.
Everybody.
They had the majority of the city.
Of the state.
Yeah. It's kind of convenient that it was in New Orleans. So
and they said when they realized the game was in New Orleans, they circled and said, we must be the team. And that was probably part of their inspiration to beat Alabama. Wow. They wanted to be in that game.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that they hadn't beat us in
9 years.
Yeah, that was a big inspiration too. that was probably.
We got to get our shots in when we can. That's all we got.
I'm just saying. Because, I mean, we just can't let them get too high. You know what I mean? Because we've had them down for so long now. They start getting a little breathing room. They're gonna be a little unruly. What's
interesting about LSU now, of course, Joe Brady is now the offensive coordinator in Carolina Panthers. By the way,
yes.
A lot of underclassmen has already declared they're going to the NFL. So LSU got to deal with something that Alabama and Clemson deals with every single season. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you have you got people. We got a lot of young guys on the team, but those guys you was counting on for next year continue the winning tradition. Maybe a little struggle next year, seriously, because a lot of guys are getting out of there.
Absolutely. It's called rebuilding versus retooling. And when you have a program, you just retool, few adjustments. Right. Especially since you mentioned Virginia losing to Florida State, the Virginia fan base is wondering what's wrong with Virginia basketball. Some people say, well, it's supposed to be a rebuild. Well, is it retooling? But LSU's going to have that challenge. Clemson's retooling. They're already preseason number 1.
Right.
They've got, when you have a top quarterback,
that helps.
And LSU changed their program around by going to the spread offense, but it takes a great quarterback to run that well. Mm-hmm. And now without Joe Burrow, it's going to be interesting if they can be that prolific. Most people say no.
Oh, man.
I say no. I say they'll be back.
That's not a surprise.
I say they'll be back. They'll be back the way they were before.
Wow.
Underneath my boot. That's where they'll be.
Seriously.
So quick question, Dr. Stroman. All the experience, all of the, taking it all in, is there one thing that you say set this apart from all the other ones?
I would just say the atmosphere, the pageantry.
Yeah.
Really?
The beauty of both teams being Tigers. Okay. So it's just fun. Everybody's saying to everybody else, go Tigers, go Tigers. Clemson folks are saying it to LSU fans. LSU fans are saying it to Clemson. The Battle of Death Valley, who actually owns the name of the stadium.
Yeah. That was
Clemson was first, but LSU says in the modern era that they are Death Valley. So to have that being settled on the field,
I must admit though, like normally, like late Saturday night in Death Valley in Baton Rouge, they always have a big advantage down there, man. That's why I think about when I say Death Valley. Exactly. We're getting it in, and it's just interesting when we saw the national championship on Monday. Dr. Deborah Stroman was actually there on the field as it was going down. A lot of conversations around that. A lot of conversations around what she did when she left New Orleans, like go to San Francisco, hang out with the NBA, Golden State Warriors, and all this stuff. But in the interim, though, one of the reasons you went out there is to talk about this NBA math game that you have. Give us some insight to that conversation.
Absolutely. I feel it is one of my biggest passions now.
Mm-hmm.
So we know the importance of learning our math tables. And I call our game the bridge to STEM, because everybody's talking about STEM. Got to get a job in STEM. But if you don't know how to multiply, divide, add, and subtract, you're not going anywhere.
That would help.
Yes. This is a game that was created by math experts. And we've got a wonderful board of directors. The parent company is actually called Learn Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And the game is called NBA Math Hoops. And it's primarily for 4th to 6th graders. And we actually work with the amazing educators all across the country. And we actually teach them their math tables, and they don't even realize they're learning. And we do that by looking at the shooting stats from NBA and WNBA players.
Wow.
Hasbro has been a big supporter. They've actually made our board game for us for free. We've got educators all across the country. We're partnered with over 25 NBA teams now. And two of the biggest supporters are the Philadelphia 76ers and the Golden State Warriors.
Wow.
And we actually have it here in the Triangle region. We're trying to expand where it's strong down in Charlotte. But it's just an amazing way for young kids to come together and in a fun, exciting way to learn their math.
How does it work?
Yeah, so it's a board game, and you've got 2 students on each side, so it's 2 against 2, and they roll a die, which will tell them which player they can actually choose their stats, and they have a timer going, so the clock is ticking. They have to fill out a little chart and do their math really fast. I've got some videos. We'll post it on the Facebook page so people can go and take a look at it.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
You compete locally, and then based on the region, there might be a regional tournament, and then students are selected from all over the country to go to the national tournament. And the national tournament is definitely crybaby worthy. I mean, I cry every time because
Seriously.
It's all expense paid trip for the student, their parents, and their teacher.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, so we've been to Detroit, we've been to San Francisco. It's just an amazing program.
I was gonna say we could, you get us a board game, we'll play it on the show, but I won't be doing the math. I'll be doing the math.
I think it'd be fun.
I'll roll the dice.
We're gonna do it live.
Well, I'll roll the dice.
I'm relaunching my Center of Sport Business and Analytics.
Okay.
SAS is one of my partners, and look for the invitation because we're going to actually play the game as adults. We're bringing some students as well.
I think that would be so fun.
Include us in that.
We'd love to do it.
Yeah,
love to do it.
And shout out to RTI International too, because they've been great supporters.
Yeah.
This lady here, man. I think it's a great idea. I think,
and on top of that shit with the Virginia.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a Tar Heel too.
Yeah,
have to mention.
Thank you. So I mean, you mentioned STEM, and I think it's really important. And I love the fact that you can learn by playing, and you can develop skill sets about. And I think that's perfect. So hopefully, maybe the whole state of North Carolina should do this. You should go to the state level and get every superintendent and to put in their district and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as much as we look at it as fun and the students look at it as fun, this is scientific. We actually work with research firms to calculate their pre-test scores prior to being a part of NBA Math Hoops and then post. And we are making a difference. So a lot of schools, especially the schools that are really challenged with performance, they are coming to NBA Math Hoops and saying, we want to do something different because the pressure is on them. We've got to raise up our test scores. We have to be a better performing school.
Yes.
And this is a way that it can happen. Yeah, we have it documented that we are making difference in students' performance in math.
Do they have to be big, like, basketball fans in order to play?
Not at all. In fact, we've got students who don't know anything about basketball, but then
Good
most
question.
of them, especially our boys, our Latinx boys and our African American boys, they are just blown away by this. You know, young people saying, "Who wants to go to math class?" Now it's like, "Oh yeah, I want to go to math class because now I can do my multiplication."
Right? That's
so
interesting.
They're just so much more excited and positive about the field of math.
Wow,
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Also, we rocking with Dr. Stroman. I know she's celebrating her Founders Day today, by the way, people.
Wow.
Zeta Phi Beta's up in the house.
That's what all that nice blue is over there behind
Where's your gear? Where's your gear, Distro?
Absolutely.
He came in with all the gear on the day.
Centennial year. 1920. Here we are in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So
2020.
all the blue and white family, in particular, our Sigmas, and friends and partners are all headed to D.C. this weekend. I'll be in D.C. I'm co-hosting my chapter. We're having a gathering in D.C. So it's going to be another road trip. But I'm excited.
Oh, congratulations. That's what's up. 100 years. That's what it's all about, man.
I'm honored that you just on your East Coast swing.
Right.
You decided to come through the sports shop this morning on your way to DC.
No, why you praying? I am too.
I'm honored you paid us this visit this
And
morning.
I'm very thankful that you've chosen to wear our colors.
That's right.
Thank you.
I knew it. I already knew. So
But as you all know,
it's a
fraternities
pleasure.
and sororities, it's a good way to bond and make friends.
Absolutely. Lifelong friends.
Yeah.
too, by the way.
Lifelong friends, and it's all about giving back and helping the community.
So what's next on the horizon for you? You dropped about 4 or 5 things you're working on. Did you leave anything out? I want to make sure we get it all in while you're on.
Well, again, pay attention. You're here in the Triangle, the Center of Sport Business and Analytics. We have a lot going on this year. I'm doing an event at the Super Bowl January 30th. I'm doing football analytics. And I'm also working with my dear friends, Dr. Robert Turner and Ron Rice. We're putting on something around athletes and their transitioning.
At the Super Bowl or here?
This is the Super Bowl event,
So
January
Super Bowl.
30th down in Miami at Florida International University.
And both of those guys came in. Maybe you came in with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was last year.
That was last year, yeah.
And then stay tuned. I'm entering in the world of minor league baseball. So I'm working with the Durham Bulls. This September, we'll be putting on a minor league baseball analytics event. So we're excited about that as well.
What would you say to high school teams, high school coaches, right? That are saying, I don't really know much about analytics. I really want to see how I can integrate this into my young team and see how I can use analytics to make my team better.
Come out to the Basketball Analytics Summit.
There you go.
April 17th and 18th and learn the basics, the fundamentals. But if you know that you're not going to the next level as a player and it's going to be a hard road to be a coach, then you want to stay close to the game, and here's an opportunity. These jobs are just popping up.
Yeah.
You know what? 10, 15 years ago, you didn't have analytics staffs on NBA in NBA franchises, the NFL as well. Baseball was doing it, but now all sports are interested in how we can make our teams more efficient. You know, why all of a sudden are we shooting 3-point shots in the corner?
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason
corner
why.
threes,
It's a better shot.
It's a shorter shot too, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the shortest of them.
Right. Let me ask you a question. So the summer's going to be where? What location? The 17th?
North Carolina Central University,
Okay.
April
We gotta make sure-
17th and 18th.
We got to make sure we be all over that.
Yeah, red zone. Why are certain calls being played? Because the numbers are dictating a run versus a pass.
Is that a Friday, Saturday?
Yes, it is. Friday, Saturday.
What time on Friday?
You trying to get your schedule right?
Yeah, because I'm trying to make sure maybe broadcast from there. I don't know.
That'd be great.
So I'm just
we'll
thinking
start
about
around noon on Friday.
Yeah. Maybe broadcast from there.
I just see it as a great way, especially if you're coaching a lot of young people, that their minds are always looking to absorb information. It'll be a great opportunity for them to get, like, if a coach learns about it, but you know what, expose the team to it, and then the young minds will take over, and who knows where it can go after that.
And take the pressure off the crybabies.
Yeah.
The crybaby athletes. Why aren't you playing me?
Yeah.
Such and such. Well, this is what the numbers say.
Right. The numbers say you shouldn't be in the game.
Exactly.
That's what the numbers say.
Your ass should be on the bench.
Well, why can't you let me play with my boy? Because when you two are together and the numbers say no one else gets a shot, that's why you two don't play together.
That's why I get him assignment.
I wasn't trying to tell nobody, but
These one last question. We let you get out of here. The CBA came out a couple of days ago, talked about unbelievable opportunity for women now in the WNBA in terms of real salaries and child daycare, all these kind of things. So talk about just your response to that change.
So another, time period in sports history where we're going to, say, remember this date. But we know we've been talking about women's equity in all fields. And to finally see it happen in basketball, it's great. It took Venus Williams to be able to make the difference for tennis. And right now, this group of players with leadership has decided that this is the time for basketball. But, it really requires everybody. So it means that people have to go out and watch these games. You have to, even though it can be challenging, check your whatever your favorite media platform to find out when these games are being played and watch it. Turn the games on and go to the games. But that's what we need with women's basketball. We don't need to duplicate what the men are doing. It's a different game. Okay. You don't have all this dunking and all this athleticism. It is just pure basketball.
Fundamentally, I love watching it because of that. Yeah.
But you said something interesting. You don't need to duplicate what the men are doing. A lot of people are going to it expecting a duplicate of what the men are doing. And I think that's a key distinction that's not what this is. That's not what you're doing here.
That's right. The women are very, very athletic, but you're not going to see these flying high 360s and all that.
Yeah.
But it is just fundamental basketball, and they're really, really great ballers. Yeah. Great ballers.
Because they will drop buckets on you. I can tell you that.
Well, Dr. Stroman, this was a pleasure, seriously. Anytime you show up, we always get excited.
I thought that you were just trying to see if we were going to cheat using the computer if you gave us a pop quiz. No, but I always love when you come.
Well, she already know the answer to that. We will try to cheat.
Well, speaking of cheating, please stay on top of this Major League Baseball thing because you are allowed to steal signs, but yet you can't use technology. And yes, the Red Sox and the Astros cheated my Yankees from kites.
It's always personal. It's always personal.
She wants to vacate the
victory. It's more than just suspension. Vacate.
Look, take away the titles.
Look, Houston forgot to unplug the camera. So they didn't know it was still running.
They said, why is this thing running?
They said, why is it still running? Oh, we used that for practice. We're sorry. Let's unplug it now.
Exactly.